So, Story About to Tell is a Katy Perry related story. Um, it's the story of how I met her but didn't know I was meeting her. So, basically, context before. So, I'm a massive Katy Perry fan, quite the fangirl. The way this happened, it all happened on Twitter. So, I had a fangirl Twitter account, which I do not have anymore because I deleted it before I moved here for many reasons to keep professional. But I had this fangirl Twitter. It was all about Katy Perry, and I actually met like a lot of great friends through Katy Perry in this Twitter account. So this was in 2017, and I'm on Twitter, and I get this DM from a radio station, and it's like a producer from a radio station, and he's like, "Hey, we found your Twitter account through just like a hashtag. You look like you're a big Katy Perry fan. Uh, we're doing a listening party for Katy Perry's new album. Would you be interested in like coming?" And I'm like, okay, but I'm like, is this legit? Like, this can't be real. So I'm like, yeah, I'm interested. And then I start like messaging everyone else on Twitter because everyone else is getting this message, and they're like, yeah, like they reached out to me too. So obviously I try and like stalk the person who sent me the message, and they seemed legit. They were actually a producer at this radio station. And back and forth they were like, okay, like we'd love to give you a call. So a few days later, I get this phone call, and they're like, "Hi, yeah, we're from the radio station. Just want to ask you some questions. What's your favorite Katy Perry song? How long have you been a fan for?" And again, I'm just like so chill about this. I'm like, yeah, like, really love this song. Been a fan since like I kissed a girl. Yeah, like I just really love her. She's awesome. And they're like, great, awesome, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, so we're gonna get in touch later on. If you're like coming to this listening party. And they kept saying, just letting you know, because Katy Perry was coming to Sydney when this was happening to promote her tour. So they kept being like, letting you know she's not going to be there, like at all. It's just a weird coincidence that this is happening. And I'm like, okay, cool, awesome. So then that happens, and I'm like, all right. And then I get a message, and they're like, congrats, like you've been selected to come to this listening party for Universal Music. And I'm like, cool. And they're like, again, Katy Perry's not going to be there, but you're going to get free merch. So they had me at the free merch because I was like, well, yes, like I want Katy Perry merch. Like this is everything. So on Twitter, it like became known that not everyone got invited to this listening party. There was maybe like 6 of us. So we're like, okay, weird, sketch. So then basically it's the Friday. And so Katy Perry was in town from Friday to like Monday, and the listening party was on the Saturday. So I had like also won tickets to a rooftop concert, of course, that she was doing at another radio station. um, so I had to call in sick to work to go to that because obviously as a fangirl, I had to wait in line at 6 in the morning to be, front row. It's just what you do. So that happened on the Friday, and then the next day was this like listening party. So the day of the listening party happens, and Katy Perry is going to be on Sunrise, which in Australia, like if people from Australia watching, is like it's like a morning show that they have in Australia that's pretty iconic. So she's making an appearance there, and of course, being the fangirl I am, was like, yeah, like I'm going to go with my friends to try and catch her on Sunrise to try and meet her there. So we go to Sunrise, we're like waiting, and she's late. So we're like, oh, okay, normal. She's always late to events because we know. And I was like, damn, like I'm gonna miss her. So she gets to like Sunrise, and I see her for like a split second, and I'm like, guys, I have to peace out. I have to go to this like radio station on the other side of town. And they're like, okay, cool. So then I go to this radio station, I get there, and there's like, the 6 other people that also got selected. And we go in, and this is a key part of the story. So they're like, oh, welcome. We're just having some technical difficulties right now, so we're actually running a little bit behind. So if you guys want to like go grab a coffee, go for a walk, come back later. At this point, we're all like, oh my God, like we're meeting her, right? Because she's late to Sunrise. And like if like any out there who's a fangirl, like like a celebrity's itinerary, like you're like, she's at Sunrise in the morning, she has a radio appearance here, and then she's probably going back to her hotel, and then she has like so you're like, we're connecting the dots, and we're like, oh my God, like what, like technical, no, like she's here. So we're like freaking out a little bit, but again, being like, no, be cool. It's like, it's fine. So then we go back and they're like, oh, thanks, come back, awesome. And then they take like everything off us. They take our phones, our bags, like we can't take anything into this like listening party, which I was a little upset about because I had a Polaroid camera and I was like, well, if I'm meeting her, I wanted a Polaroid. It's fine. So we then get into this room and we all just like sit at this like table really awkwardly. And we're all just like, okay, what's happening? And I will say to this day, everyone at the radio station that was obviously in on this did the most perfect acting job because the guy who was hosting it, I remember he was like, welcome to the listening party. Universal Music has hosted this, and Katy Perry just wants your feedback on her new album, what songs you like. We had feedback sheets, like they'd made up these like pieces of paper that had like, what's your favorite Katy Perry song? Which song do you not like on the album? Like it was legit. And that was the moment I went, oh my God, like I'm not meeting her. Like this isn't happening. Like, and we're all just kind of like, wow, okay. So then we awkwardly introduced ourselves. We're like mingling. The guy's like, what Katy Perry song do you want to play? And we're like, play that one. And so we're just chilling. So then, one by one, they start taking people from the group to this other room. And they just keep saying, oh, we're just taking it, like they're just gonna doing like an interview for Universal Music just to like so you can have your feedback on camera. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I was like one of the last few people to go into this interview. And in hindsight, I should have realized that like these people weren't coming back, so that much must mean something because they'd leave and we'd never see them again. But again, everyone was doing such a good job. I was convinced this isn't happening. Like I was like, nope, not meeting her. This is just a listening party, like whatever. So I'm like the third last person to get, go into this room, and they take us up in an elevator. There's like it's like security like with you, those two people, and they were like, how are you? And I'm like, yeah, good. In my mind going, I don't know where I'm going. Like this could be a really bad situation, but I'm like, yeah, whatever, cool. And then they take us into this, like, I go into this big room. There's a camera. There's the people from the radio station, like the hosts. And there's this guy behind the camera. And there's like these other people. And I'm literally just standing there in the middle, like really awkward. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And the guy's like, yeah, we're just going to ask you a couple of questions, just about the album. It's just for Universal Music. They really want to, Katy really wants to connect with her fans. And, yeah, so just like be cool, it's fine. And I'm like, okay. And then the next thing, like I can't even explain the feeling, but I'm just standing there, and then all of a sudden I just feel like someone is like next to me, like a warm body. And then I literally turn next to me and it's just like Katy Perry's face is just like, hi. And then there is a video, I think you've seen it, Matt, but literally for some goddamn reason, like I've been waiting my whole life for this moment to meet my idol, and all I do is, oh, hi, how are you? Yeah, oh, cool, hi, like just totally cool. Like, and even I'm pretty sure to this day I must have like shocked Katy herself because like she must have, because everyone before me was literally screaming and crying, and I'm just like, hi, oh yeah, like totally cool, what's up, like how are you? I mean, inside dying. And I was like, so yeah, so I meet her, I like have this awesome interaction with her that I'd been waiting my whole life for. Didn't realize I was meeting her. But funny part of that story is afterwards they ended up like posting it to the radio station, like, the biggest fans meet Katy Perry, and they cut my interaction. They just cut it. Like everyone else got their line, like spotlight. Like you can see me in the video. I don't know if it's still up there somewhere, probably, but you can see me in the round table bit, like talking about like what my favorite song is, and then like my interaction with her is just nowhere to be seen. They just straight up, they were like, yeah, this girl like didn't give us the content we wanted, so she's out. But yeah, that's me meeting her.